So this first match, Morikondo versus Savadra, interesting matchup in my opinion. So Morikondo moved up to advanced for the last advanced bingo binge after winning the intermediate binge immediately beforehand. Savadra was on track to do that this time, but the organizers realized before the event that he was too good for intermediate and forced him to go straight into advanced.
Actually, you got quite funny last time because for the intermediate one, there were quite a few people who applied to it but were just too good for intermediates, so they had to play in this one instead.
Okay, and it looks like in the bingo sync room, the players are going. So, allowing for stream delay, we should see them going shortly.
Oh, time is going. And there's the board. Okay, what have we got here? I'm not seeing too much in City. Got Theron Crossing. I think that's all it is for City itself. Of course, you can get 2 winged in City for 2 winged in 2. It's an A side for 5 A sides. There's Winged Golden Berry, which we'll come back for later. You obviously are not going to be doing that first pass.
Yeah, for obvious potential rush objectives, there's Complete Awake without dashing and 10 berries in 2A. So those are kind of the obvious things. There might be a viable B-side route with blue and red heart in old sight and 2 blue, 2 red.
Yeah, I think it's possible that you could do 2B here. Yeah, I don't think 2B is totally unreasonable.
Yeah, I think you can very much. I think you can very much go either way on A side versus B side. Blue, red, and old side, 2 blue, 2 red, 1 bino and 5, 4 cassettes, 7 binos, all kind of goes to B sides. But if you play 2A, then that does contribute a little bit to complete 5A sides. Complete Awake without dashing, 10 berries in 2A,
yeah, 5
berries in 4 chapters, and 35 berries. So there's synergy whichever you go. Yeah, I think personally I would go 2A here, but I don't think it's a huge. I don't think it's a huge mistake if one of the players goes 2B.
Yeah, I agree. Later down the line, what's the sort of late game stuff looking like? We've got 3 gems in Summits, Grabless Hollows and Grabless Rock Bottom.
Okay, it looks like both players get both winged berries in City, which obviously sets them up for 2 winged and 2 later if they go into Resort. Is it worth going into Resort first pass
That's a
here?
good question.
There's 2 winged and 2, obviously. All berries in start of 3A is slow and you wouldn't usually go that first pass.
Yeah, you'd very rarely go for that first pass. You could get a few of the late berries in 3A start, just to make it quick to go back for. But you're very unlikely to do all of them in one go.
Yeah. Blue and red heart and Celestial Resort is something you set up for later. The huge mess order is not a heart order, which is unfortunate for blue and red. Stun a Shiro 10 times. Reach Old Sight and Pico 8 is a nice thing to have available. I think it's viable. I don't know if it's good.
Yeah, quite a bit of stuff in 3A, yeah. Oh, and both players going off the cassette here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they actually go 2B or if this is just setting up for later. Okay, Savadra is continuing to play 2A.
So is Mora.
Mora is okay. Definitely reasonable. I'm waiting. Okay, I was waiting to see when Mora collected that berry, how many berries she has. So she has 7, and Sev has, I think, 9?
Yeah, 9. Huh?
Now he has 9.
Yeah.
So they're pretty close in berry count and in progress. So this is a very even match so far. Both players have taken more, basically the same route. They both got the 2A cassette. They've both been getting some berries.
Yeah, I think it's fairly likely that we see both players going to 3A here, actually. Because I don't think there's that much in Ridge and Temple. So, I mean, there's obviously some issues with if one player thinks they're behind in progress at the end of 2A, which it looks like Savadra will be. That can obviously change things, but how I'm reading this board, it looks like Resort is stronger than the other options that you could be skipping here.
Okay, Savadra takes 10 berries in 2A. Mora takes Awake without dashing. And Mora is ahead and goes into 3A, while Savadra still has to finish Awake. I don't think Mora had 10 berries in 2A.
Okay, Savadra going back for Theron Crossing here. Look,
Yeah,
he obviously knows that he's a bit behind in progress after seeing that Away Without Dashing Turk.
Yeah, so...
Is this going to be a Resort skip here?
Oh, he didn't even finish Awake before going back for that. Which makes sense, honestly.
Yeah,
because Mora could very easily have just gone straight back for Theron Crossing. No, Talia, I'm pretty sure Mora may have 10 berries total, but some of them were in 1A. Okay, and Sev goes into 3A.
Closing with a pretty decent sized progress disadvantage now.
Yeah, it's... I mean, honestly, like... I think both playing 3A and skipping it are like both decent. I think skipping it potentially probably wins you 4 cassettes and obviously Mirror Temple cassette. And you can play 5B for 2 blue, 2 red. Potentially faster late game access. You might win 5 and 4 that way as well.
Yeah.
So there are
skipping Resort here.
Yeah. And the problem with that is if you think that both routes are equally viable, and then you have to guess, and then because you're behind, you have to guess which one your opponent is doing, you don't know. So in that circumstance, I think I would do what Savadra is doing. I would play 3A, because if I skip and then find that my opponent also skipped, I have wasted my skip. Whereas this way, now Sev knows that Mara is in 3A, he has the option of unlocking Mess and then skipping, which does lose him progress, but it's not as bad as if he skipped when Mara also skipped.
Yeah, that is definitely something worth pointing out. Okay.
Okay, but Sev is continuing.
Mora going for both blue hearts and the best order, I think, here. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam, in principle, doing just a regular heart order would allow Sev to catch up, but he's far enough behind that it's actually not going to matter that much.
It'll be interesting to see how Sev plays this, because this is... I mean, this is a pretty significant disadvantage here for progress. Not unrecoverable by any means, but it's definitely something he's going to have to take into account when he's routing this.
Pico 8 might not be an awful move. It's not generally something you do first pass, because it loses you progress. So unless there are multiple objectives in there, it may not be worth it. But Rich Old Site is decently fast as Pico objectives go. I don't think I would do it now, but I think I would be keeping it in mind, because in Sev's position, you know that you have access to Pico, and Mara doesn't know that you have access to Pico, so you want to try and pick the right moment to surprise her and go back for it.
That is something that Sev has in his favour, is that Mora doesn't really know where he is. Because he could have very easily skipped through A. And there's no indication which one has happened.
Strawberry, 3 minutes is a lot of time to be losing at this point in a bingo game. So, I don't object strongly to what Savage did, but I think if I were in his position, I would actually have skipped getting the cassette in Elevator Shaft and done the demo to try and catch up in progress. Because you're not going to play 3B right now. Right now, you need to progress more, and you can come back for the cassette later.
I think Sev definitely could have played a bit more strongly to just catch up progress. But equally, he's definitely made up some of that ground from earlier.
Yeah, he got to skip stunning Ashiro, which is something, and Mara's been losing a certain amount of time to fitting in the Ashiro box. And yeah, now both players in the same room, and Mara dies, so Sev will actually be the first one out of resort.
Yeah, that's it. And goes into bridge, okay. I think this does make sense, yeah.
And they both go into Ridge. So yeah, Sev now has a small advantage in progress, but obviously he's down by 2 objectives. And he is getting berries for 5 berries in 4 chapters, although he skipped the first one. But of course he has that progress advantage and he dies with a berry. This is very unfortunate. Okay, and we see that Sev is definitely advantaged towards 35 berries. But, okay, 5 berries in 4 chapters turns red. That, I think, was very important and must have been very close. Because, because that was Mora's 5th berry in the chapter. And Sev also gets 4 cassettes because of getting the 3A cassette, which I questioned. So never mind, I am wrong.
And if Mora didn't know...
Mora seeing the 4 cassettes doesn't bother with the cassette and just gets the bino and regains progress lead. Sorry, you.
Yes. Oh, I was saying that if Mora didn't know that she was a tiny bit behind in progress going out of resorts before, she definitely watched out from those 2 ticks, just slightly beating her out, so that's... And goes back to 2B.
Yeah, and Mora can also probably realize that Sev was just trailing her in 3A because of 4 cassettes but no Mirror Temple cassette.
Those are good points.
And okay, now they both go back.
Interesting.
Mora to 2B, which I don't hate. It has Bino synergy and obviously is an objective. Sev to 3A start berries, which I assume will also let him finish 35 berries.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, there's the tick for 35 berries. Yes, so got the last 3 berries first pass. So I will save a bit of time on this run.
Yeah. And yeah, they're not missing out on a huge amount by not unlocking late game, which makes this reasonable. If we assume they're both going to complete Ridge, skip Temple to unlock Reflection and Summit, 3 gems. Is 3 gems the only thing in Summit? Like, you could use it as a chapter for 1 binocular and 5 chapters.
Oh, it's
but
pretty empty here.
It. And then Grabless Hollows,
Grabless Rock Bottom,
Reflection B-side.
Yeah.
But I think it's very reasonable to decide that all of those are not things you want to be doing right now, in which case you don't need to have access to them right now.
Yeah, I don't think late game is especially valuable on this board. A massive amount of it, and in particular, the stuff there isn't really fast to get.
Okay, and Mara is just rushing 2 blue, 2 red, which also goes with the 2 Bino objectives. So this could definitely work out very well for her.
So more actually playing for some of this B-side synergy on the balls. So what else is this going for? So it Obviously, B-sides and binos are generally pretty good synergy with each other.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Mora will get 7 binos out of this chapter.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
Okay, quits out after the first checkpoint and the first bino to get 7 binos, and will this be 1 in 5? 2A, 2B, 1B, 3B, 4A? Yeah.
Okay, just going back to get this actual objective. And there's the text.
Yeah, I like this from Mara. I think she's accurately realizing that progress is not that important. Yeah, actually, I was going to say, looking back up in chat, Sam, you're right about that Mara could have finished 1 bino in 5 in 5B, but she didn't have immediate access to 5B, whereas she did have easy access to 2B and 1B. So if you're trying to do it as fast as possible, it makes more sense. And if you don't care about the progress, which, I mean, in this case, 5B wouldn't even give you progress, because you can just skip Temple after finishing Ridge. And now Mora's going to Pico.
So Mora's just not caring about this progress. Which, I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, she can still get it. It won't take her that long to finish 4A whenever she wants to contest late game. And so Sev, having seen the blue, red, and old site and the bino takeoffs, which clearly indicate B-side progress, is figuring that he needs to contest 3B. But that's just a wrong call on his part. Okay, he quits out a library.
Okay.
And goes for Temple Cassette. But I think Mora is making the better call that Pico, at this point, when you don't care about rushing progress, you can easily expend the minute or so that it will take you to get to Old Site and Pico. And it's just a fast objective.
Okay, so more going into 3B here. So if Sev doesn't go back to finish it off, then that will just be some wasted time. Since that 3B isn't going towards anything else for him. It says is 2 blue, 2 red, but and once Mora finishes 2B, 3B, that will be the objective. So.
So it's worth noting that Mora still hasn't finished Ridge. In fact, has she even finished trying yet? I'm not sure. I think she might have quit out at the Blue Heart the second time around.
Quite possibly, I don't remember.
So she still has like half of Ridge to play if she wants to contest Reflection or Summit. And Sev is now going into Reflection.
Yeah, I mean,
the Mora is getting a lot out of early game here.
Yep, equally, if Sev gets all of Reflection and Summit uncontested, then that is... I know we said late game wasn't particularly strong, but that is 3 objectives in Reflection, 1 in Summit.
Yeah, it's...
So it's... I mean, I think it's quite possible that Mora isn't just going to let that all happen, because... I mean... there is a decent amount of late game. But equally, if Sev can find 2 more objectives, then he can force Mora to carry out late game.
Yeah, the whole point about late game not being super strong more meant that it wasn't urgent to do right away, not that you can just ignore it forever. And we're definitely getting to the point where the faster early game objectives have been cleaned up, so late game starts to matter. And Sev is doing Winged Golden, which I think this is definitely working on the principle that, okay, if Mora is doing an early game rush and doesn't have late game access, then I need to cut off early game objectives that she does have access to, which is reasonable. I don't know if it's the right call in this instance, because it won't take Mora that long to unlock late game. And also, I know Mora isn't that good at Winged Golden.
Obviously, if you're making a rebuild player, there is a question of does Sev also have that read? Which I have no idea.
Yeah, and yeah, looking at chat. Okay, Mora did unlock Old Trail. Yeah, looking at chat, 6A for 5A sides, I think only really makes sense if you also have Reflection A side on the board as an objective by itself. Because otherwise 5A is faster, and Search Berries require you to play late into 5A already. Yes, Grabless Rock Bottom can be done in either 6A or 6B, because they both have a checkpoint called Rock Bottom. I believe in earlier days of the bingo generator, Grabless Rock Bottom used to be specific to 6B, and it got changed so that you could do it in either. I'm not sure. Maybe that might have just been the Reach Rock Bottom objective.
I'm not sure about old bingo history.
And yeah, so it looks like what I said is going to turn out to be accurate. Sev is going to have ended up taking longer to do Winged Golden to try and cut off Mora's early game objectives than it takes for Mora to unlock late game.
Yeah. Okay, so... Okay. Summit doesn't do a massive amount here.
And Mora goes into Reflection instead.
Yeah.
Where, as we said, Summit has 1 objective and Reflection has 3. So...
Yeah. I'm actually not sure what play with Summit is for.
I think I would have liked this more if Sev did it before doing Winged Golden, or rather, instead of doing Winged Golden. Because 3 gems... 3 gems probably faster than Winged Golden, unless you have a really good Winged Golden.
Yeah, I think they're relatively similar.
Yeah, and so... You know, you can do your 3 gems and then go into reflection. And if that had been what happened, then Sev would now be ahead of Mora in reflection, having already got the summit objective. Instead,
Charlie making a good point in chat that Sev does need to contest reflection because 3 objectives in reflection, Mora at 10. He needs to cut something off from there.
Yeah, but I think you play to cut off something from the chapter with 3 objectives rather than the chapter with 1. And that's why I think it would have made more sense if he did summit earlier, because that way you cut that off, you possibly delay it if you're seeing ticks from Mara while you go into reflection, and then hope to waste some of her time. And yeah, in the meanwhile, as also noted in chat, it's entirely possible that Mora just plays all the way to the end of 6A here, because she's doing Grabless Hollows. She can then do Grabless Rock Bottom in 6A, and if she does that, then once she's finished, she's almost at the end of the chapter and can finish 6A for 5A sides. So that's a very simple win condition in 1 chapter.
Yeah, and in fact, Mora getting quite a solid way into 6A here. Instead of just getting out of Summit here. And now contests Reflection.
Yeah, but this is too late now.
Yeah, because Grabless Hollows is almost done. And there's the tick.
Yeah. If he... I mean, ultimately, obviously he can't know what Mora's doing. Okay, Mora quits out and goes into Summit. Sev is delaying this objective. And Mora has ticked, so Sev knows that he doesn't need to be doing this anymore. Okay, Sev takes the gems.
But
he definitely could have delayed that more and being 2 objectives. Okay, Sev calls GG.
Yeah, that's fair enough, I think.
Yeah, I think if he was going to continue playing, then he could have definitely continued to delay the gems for longer. Okay, Sev calls GG.
It looks like we should be going with the second game fairly shortly.
And we have the classic fable of the tortoise versus the Madeleine. Alright, so early things on this board. All berries in start of 1A and 10 berries in 1A. Obviously one flows very nicely into the other. There's also all berries in crossing, though that's probably something you come back for later.
Wouldn't think you go for that straight away.
Yeah, but you probably finish out your 10 berries in 1A with at least some of the crossing berries.
I think you almost certainly get the last 2 crossing berries.
Yeah. Moving beyond that, there's Grabless 2A. And I think that's it for the first 2 chapters.
Sight doesn't have much here.
3A looks decent, I think. There's all berries in shaft and all berries in sweet.
And those are relatively quick berries.
Yeah. It's 5 berries in Pico, and get the orb in Pico, so it's nice to have access to those. Yeah,
of course, you're unlikely to do those first pass. There's 7 and 8 winged, which resort has 2 winged, so is progress towards those.
Yeah, whereas if you skip resort and go Ridge Temple, you get Golden Ridge Cassette and get the key in depths. You could potentially, after getting the key in depths, continue to the blue heart for progress to 4 blue hearts. Yeah, I hadn't really looked at Summit, but apparently there are 4 Summit berry objectives. I can see 1K, 2K, and 3K, and 0 meters. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Every multiple of 1,000 meters, you get the berries. There's also 1K and 1.5K gems. Looks like both players are going for 1A start ARB. And GSA moment, anyone?
Yeah, that is a lot of summit berries.
Yeah, I mean, in general, there are 5 summit objectives. I mean, and I was looking at reflection as well. Yes, there's top route in hollows and bottom route in hollows.
Oh yeah, I think what we're really reading from that is just progress is going to be really important in this match.
Yeah. There's also Summit B side, and you can count 7 berries, 7 winged berries and 8 winged berries potentially as Summit objectives. Certainly 8 winged, unless you do winged golden, you have to go to Summit.
And I don't think there's any reason at all to do winged golden here.
Yeah. Okay, so lead switching back and forth here. Quan won the race to 1A start berries, but Sam made it to the end of 10 berries in 1A at the chasm winged first. But then Quan left the winged room slightly faster, and so has a slight lead into 2A.
Oh, point. This is about 5 seconds or less, so nothing really worth writing home about.
And yeah, Meta Mora didn't just finish 6A, she quit out after hollows, and then Sev called GG.
So both players going for Grappler's Joy here, so we have a race.
So, in principle, I feel like this very much favors Quan. Much better any percent time, but less used to bingo-specific things like Grabless, which may equalize for Sam. As we see, Quan's fallen a bit behind and now is catching up again, but potentially missing some of his strats because he's not used to Grabless. Grabless doesn't have a huge effect on 2A, but even just a slight difference can mess you up, particularly if you're going for harder strats.
Yeah, and it can also be a bit harder to recover things if they go wrong, if you can't grab. So,
those
two things to
Sam
combine.
has switched off Grabless, and he is behind. He probably thought if he was messing up in whichever room it was, that he was going to lose out on the execution race, when in fact it was still pretty close.
Yeah.
Though he is behind.
Looks like, yeah.
Yeah, so he probably would have lost, but it may well have been a lot closer than he was expecting.
Yeah. I think it was probably technically correct, but he couldn't have known that.
Yeah, especially factoring in the amount of time he spent turning off the variant. It's not a lot of menuing time, but it is a little bit. And Quan's lead was not that big. Okay, Sam skips 3A. Quan hesitates and then goes into it.
Okay.
I'm inclined to say this is better for Sam just because of how strong Summit is and for giving faster progress, but 3A does have objectives and it does have winged berries and it has Pico access for later, though you can obviously get that just by playing 3A start whenever you want to play Pico. Adds an extra minute or so.
I think it's definitely viable. This is definitely viable for both players. I think.
And yeah, Mara says in chat, Quan not doing the same thing as Sam is great given the execution disadvantage, which is definitely true.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would probably expect to see Quan skipping Temple, even though there's probably, well, Sam probably gets there first, but even if there could be more stuff there, it's just Summit is so strong that I feel like you just want the progress more.
For Blue Hearts may be an interesting objective to see what happens to it, because Quan playing 3A can do a heart order in mess, because there isn't a mess order on the board, so he can do whatever he wants. And that obviously gives him a blue heart for 4 blue hearts. Oh, and 5 blue? I keep missing objectives on this board. Yeah, okay. And he is going to house first. But as I mentioned earlier, Get the Key in Depths can easily be carried through into the blue heart, which also works for blue.
Yeah, clear the blue
so
heart.
Either player could be advantaged to that, and it's kind of just a matter of which one of them goes for it first.
Yeah, I mean, so your fastest blue hearts in general are going to be just, well, 2, 3, and 4 are all fast. 1A isn't the fastest, but we do have Crossing Arm on the board, which does synergize nicely with the blue hearts. Then there is obviously also, as you were saying, synergy with the Key and Temple with that blue hearts. I mean, I think it's definitely possible that we see 5 blue hearts being not that late into the game.
And just as a side note, we are seeing here a classic indication of why Resort is the most common chapter to skip, because even though Quan has a sizable execution advantage over Sam, we can see that Quan is just entering Elevator Shaft now, and Sam is finishing Cliff Face and can go into Temple, which is the general principle of why you usually skip Resort, because if you skip Resort, you are ahead to Ridge and Temple, so you're comparing 2 chapters against 1.
And that's why, even though Temple is only fractionally shorter than Resorts, you often get a lot more out of skipping Resort than skipping Temple.
Okay, and Quan quits out Presidential Suite to go back for Crossing Arb, which definitely cements the fact that Sam is winning the progress race to late game.
Yeah, which could be quite important. Yeah, Sam just playing full progress, 5B here.
Because this is also setting up Quan for blue hearts, so that may be what he's planning on. I do find this kind of funny, though, that it's the player with the big execution advantage who is giving up progress. Yeah, I agree with what Crab is saying in chat. If Sam can pick the right moment to go back and play 3A start into mess for Pico and Winged Berries, then that can be huge for him. If he can time that correctly, that could be a game-winning play.
Yeah, especially taking a lot of that summit synergy as well as taking 3A out from under Quan is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, something which we haven't mentioned at all is 5 binoculars and B-sides. Sam just got his first one because there's no other reason on this board to play B-sides except for 7B, which obviously neither player has access to yet. So
well, actually, the binds in 7B are quite fast, so I wouldn't actually be surprised if 7B does actually end up being
that
sort of
would honestly make a lot of sense because there's no other reason to play B-sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would expect the 5 binos to be 1B, 5B, 7B.
Yeah, although the other possibility is, since Quan is behind in progress, he could try to, if he feels that he needs B-side binos, then he could go for it with early B-sides.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And yeah, so we see that Quan is up by 3 objectives at this point, but because he played 3A and took the time to go back for Crossing Berries, he is in Shrine. Sam is about to finish 5B and be first into late game, which is a big advantage. So
how much summit there is here.
Yeah, so the 3 objective lead is very misleading in terms of...
and Sam goes straight into summits.
And Quan is still going back for blue hearts, which is another objective, of course.
Yeah.
As strong as progress is, you can't disregard the value of just being up in objectives ticked on the board. These spinners are very rude.
Yes, I think it's going to be a bit of a question of when Sam going to quit out to play something else.
Yeah, and the difficult part of that is to some extent, it involves reading your opponent. Is your opponent the kind of person who will assume they're behind and just not contest Summit, try to find a win con without it? Or are they the kind of person who will mind game you and assume that you will assume that and quit out and therefore commit to it and snipe objectives which you were expecting to get?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely possible that Quan just ignores Summit for the most part.
Yeah, and I guess for the benefit of anyone who ends up watching this in the VOD and cannot see the Twitch chat, discussion which was happening was the possibility of Sam quitting out immediately on reaching 500 meters to go and get objectives in 3A. And Sam having a moment with this traffic block. And the fact that if you quit out and then Quan just plays Summit, then he gets everything else in Summit.
I mean...
Okay, and Crab just said in chat, for the record, I want Sam to quit out reaching 1,000 meters, and Sam does exactly that.
Yeah. Okay, so 5A here, I imagine... Okay, getting wings, that's good. I imagine this will also be for the key in depth.
I'm not sure. It might be just the winged, and then you go for the other winged. No, it looks like key as well. But honestly, the key is one objective. I think it would make more sense, actually, just to rush all of the winged. I don't think the key is a priority.
We were saying earlier in the match that the key synergizes with blue hearts, but that isn't really important for Sam.
No. If 4 blue hearts was still on the board, then you could do it. Okay, and Quan actually goes into Temple instead of skipping it. Possibly he just goes to the Winged Berry and then skips. I would still disagree with that, because I think you skip first and come back for the Winged afterwards. Maybe Quan... I mean, this could very much be a case of Quan had a plan to go into 5A and get key in depths and 5 blue hearts. That would make sense, and he's just sticking to the plan even though key in depths is no longer on the board. It can be hard to change your plan even when you really should. Or it's just winged.
Okay. So is this going to... Okay, awake winged. And that's 7. So the 8th ring...
Actually, this does actually make sense from Quan, because going for these 2 winged is faster than getting to 500 meter winged.
And then at some point, maybe not immediately. Yeah, not immediately. You can take 500 meter wings.
Oh, and okay, so this, I guess, is the answer. Maybe Sam should have quit out on entering 500 meters instead of 1K, and then he would have been at least able to contest Pico. Although Quan probably doesn't have strats for Pico, and Sam was learning it yesterday.
We will see. Sam is about 3 screens behind her.
And the objective turns teal. Obviously, we have a bit of stream delay. Okay, so Quan was delaying that objective, not thinking it was contested.
I mean, possibly not even delaying to try and hide information, just delaying to try and take both at the same time. But
and Sam's game has crashed. I'm seeing in Bingo Sync chat. Okay, apparently it's back. I'm not sure if Quan actually was looking at the chat. Oh, he pauses.
Okay, there's the pause. Okay, yeah, we're back.
Yes. Sam needs to resolve this bug. Okay, yeah. It looks like it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sam has his progress back. I'm not entirely sure what he did to fix that. It's not what I know as the solution to that. I know more. Sam actually quit out of Pico before he crashed anyway. He just got the 5 berries and left rather than contesting the orb.
So, Sam now just going back into summits, getting more of these objectives, I assume. I mean, other than all the summit synergy, what's Sam's plan here? He's still down in objectives. Yeah,
so I'm wondering if he still could have contested 8 winged, honestly, because obviously Quan got 7 by. Oh yeah, the gems are on the board. I was wondering why Sam was doing this. Yeah, 7 Quan got it without entering the summit. Quan would still have to get to 500 meters. Could Sam have gotten the other winged in that time? Quite possibly. And that would obviously take away some of Quan's synergy. But I guess the big moment of truth is, what does Quan do now? He enters Summit.
So, and only going for this wing then?
Yeah, so... Yeah, Sam has gotten 1k berries. And... yeah, I figured he continues at least to get the gem here. So I assume what happens here is Sam gets the gem and probably unlocks 2k and then quits out to do something else, while Quan gets 500 meter winged and then quits out to do something else. That would be my guess. And the question is, what something else do they each do? Okay, no, Quan unlocks 500 meters, having seen the 1k berries tick while in 0 meters, and then quits out to reflection.
So I imagine that means that Quan's plan was originally going to be take the 500-meter wings, and then contest the later berry objectives. But he's now seen that Sam is also doing the berry objectives.
Yeah. But one thing this means is that Sam actually can potentially still contest 8-winged. If he... Okay.
Maybe not.
Quan goes for back to Summit for it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, this isn't a particularly long wing to go for with 500 meters already unlocked. Okay, Sam does quit out to 2K.
Yeah. Quan is in reflection. Sam goes into reflection. Do they pick the same hollows route or different ones?
So both players can know that the other player has reflection unlocked, because both of them are signal summits. So it's just a question of, do they predict where the other one is?
Well, Quan can also get 5 blue hearts here.
That doesn't happen, at least not immediately. I mean, I think as Quan, you expect that the Hollow's objectives are more contested than the hearts. So I don't think it's unreasonable to, even if you do plan to get the blue hearts after this, do Hollows first.
Okay, Quan is going bottom route. And we will see which way Sam goes shortly.
Would not be surprised if Sam goes bottom route, expecting that Quan isn't here. Because bottom route is faster. Oh, and goes top. Oh. Quan is getting lost.
Well,
what? Oh, went up third, didn't he?
Yeah. Muscle memory is a thing.
Yeah. And doesn't realise?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well, so this is one advantage to going top route. It may be slower, but it's it is only one route different to any percent. So you only have to remember to do something different once. Although some people do more bottom route rooms in 8%.
I think the most common orders are bottom top top bottom top top and top 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 bottom top top. I think. So either way, there's more top route than 80%, I think.
Okay, and Sam gets the cassette for binos.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There are 2 binos.
2 binos are also quite fast. Yeah.
Yeah, so long as you don't have a moment in the worst room in the game, which is in 6B start.
Yeah.
And it's right before the second bino.
And
Yeah,
Sam does also have 7B access already.
Yep.
So I imagine this will be 6B straight into 7B and finish off the finals.
Yeah, I was worried for a second that Sam was going to try and contest the other Hollows route, which obviously he would lose. But actually, this is potentially a little bit sad. If it's not out of the question, if Quan loses this game, that we could trace his loss back to him accidentally messing up his Hollows route. On the other hand, he is still up 2 objectives, so maybe not.
I don't think you play all the 7B right now.
No.
There's just too much
7B for
stuff.
binos is fine, and then you finish 500 meters.
And you eventually can finish 7B. Yeah. With all the stuff that Sam is obviously favoured for in Summits, that puts him at 12. And Quan is contesting something in Summits.
Yeah. So this is the thing. You can definitely here you can look at the outlier objectives, which Sam is not favored to, of Theo and Search and Keys and Power Source. But as Quan, you can easily think, well, Sam has to think that those are my win con and contest them, therefore I contest Summit instead. And with one of the Summit objectives being 7B that you're not likely to do early, that's not unreasonable.
Yeah, so... Yeah, and the thing is, Sam has like a significant lead in Summits, but Quan's 2 objectives are also really significant now.
Mora, no, Quan skipped Temple, so he doesn't have 5B Bino. No, Sam does have that. Sam does have that objective. That's because of the bingo sync bug, not bingo sync, the game crash. He definitely got 5B Bino.
I'm very glad that Sam quit out there, because 7B is not where he needs to be right now. Based on where Quan is, he needs to be contesting the berries, which he is doing. Okay. Which I think may just be a fortunate read. I don't think Sam can know that Quan would be going for berries rather than the other objectives. But Sam has...
Yeah, we clearly had a bit of confusion with Quan thinking he would need to stop and Sam keeping going, and then Sam thinking he would need to stop and Quan starting again.
Okay, we are going again. So, when assuming he does just tick them off straight away, tick off 2k berries. Assuming he doesn't get execution checked here. which looks possible. Does he then try and go for 3k after that, or leave, do something else?
I think you leave. Getting to 3k and playing a 3k ARB is like,
yeah. Well, the thing is,
that's definitely the time to do something else.
And especially from Sam's point of view, he doesn't actually know that Quan's in Summit right now. I think what
he knows
is
that Quan
played
played Summit up to 500 meter wind, and that's all he knows.
And the only other information he actually has about this is that is what ticks have happened, and possibly that there's been quite a decent amount of time since his last one, once 2k happens.
But yeah, Quan is having very good execution, and Sam's execution is being less good.
And
so,
yeah, this might just prove to...
Yeah, if Quan wins this, it's GG, because Quan can just keep going to 3k because he only needs one more objective.
Yeah, and once Sam's behind, he does have an execution disadvantage, and probably does just lose the game for that right there.
Also, Quan being up by 3 objectives and only needing one more has the option of just multitasking everything else that's left on the board.
Exactly that. And yeah, there's the tick. Yeah.
Okay, so because Quan died there, Sam is actually ahead again. Though only very slightly. GG has not been called. Okay, Quan keeps going.
This is going to be GG fairly shortly. The only reason that Quan wouldn't finish 3k here is if somehow he thought, oh, I died at the end of that 2k roam, and Sam will, I don't know, somehow magically know that he hasn't believed that, which obviously there's no way, so yeah.
Yeah. If Sam had kept going to 3k, then, well, probably he gets execution checked again because his lead was very small.
But I mean, even if he wouldn't theoretically get execution checked, he has no reason. I mean, he has no way of knowing that he was ahead out of 2k. That only happened because of death that was after the buried objective.
But yeah, very well played by both players this game.
Pretty good game.
Obviously, our kind of early take on this board was that the progress rush to Summit was crucial. Oh wow, Quan goes right side at the start of downdraft. The progress rush to Summit was really important. Quan did not initially go for that and is still going to win the game, although admittedly he is going to win the game by winning Summit. It's just that he focused on other things earlier. Whereas Sam had more the read that we had, that getting to Summit was the most important thing. So he got there, but with a disadvantage in objectives, and that he never quite overcame that disadvantage. Sam, you missed a coin.
Yeah, and I think there were potentially some opportunities where Sam could have made up that ground by contesting things that Quan was going for, but just didn't quite manage to do that enough. And unfortunate lockout on the 2k berries for Sam.
Yeah, if Sam wins 2K berries, then this game is very much not over. At that point, it's 10-11, and we enter into mind games of guess what your opponent does.
It's quite
Honestly,
possible.
it probably still favors Quan there, because the best way to win that if you're behind is guess what your opponent does and do it faster. And if your execution is worse, then you do it slower and you lose.
And the thing is,
there's still a definite chance.
Yeah, and the thing is, Sam's advantage in that situation would be having more 7B progress. But that is one objective. And if it's 10-11, then he still needs to stop Quan from guessing any two of them. So, I mean, realistically, Quan just ignores 7B. GG.
Yeah, I'm... Even if it was kind of a foregone conclusion, I'm glad we got that little 3K ARP showcase from Quan.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Thanks for sticking with us, and welcome to the second half of round 2 of the 16-player Advanced Bash. Today, I'm joined by Salt. How are you doing?
I'm good. Very excited for these matches. People have said that they're been talking about how they're very close.
Yeah, I mean, so the first 2 matches that we had today have both been live restreamed. Both of the ones that are following have been recorded, and like Salt said, they've been pretty hyped up by both the players and the recorders. So, Reed, I am not a household object. Shut up. Yeah, I mean, I think we're ready to jump on into it. Do you have any thoughts about the matchup, Plix versus Random Name?
I don't really know Blix too well, but know that been playing against Random a lot. He has some really solid routing. I think it should be a good match.
Yeah, Plix has definitely been on the scene a bit longer than Random Name, but Random's execution is definitely quite good. Looks like these players are getting ready to start, and we have the board here. Does anything jump out at you for early game? There's some stuff that I see.
You have 2 1-ups and City Cassette. They're both options to go for. 2 1-ups also worth towards 20 berries.
Yeah, that's the first synergy that I see is between 2 1-ups, 20 berries, and 15 berries in 2 chapters. Could definitely see an early berry play. OBS board is wrong, says Super. All right. Let's see if we can get that fixed, maybe. It looks okay. Yeah, this is recorded. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good.
All right.
So, both players playing Prologue. I'm curious to see what routes players will take in the early game. I do assume that players will prefer 1-ups before the cassette just because of the berry synergy, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
This board is pretty interesting. I might call it a progress board because of Grabless, Start of Foray, 3 seeded berries. But you could also do the huge mess order, Celestial Resort, Blue Heart, Find Letter, and Pico 8. Stone Shearer 10 times. And Diary and Elevator Shaft. Okay, 3 is actually pretty strong.
It's a lot of 3A.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I would do on this board. Alright, both players going for 1-ups here. This is always a stressful watch.
Both of them skipping the 4th berry.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, for 2 1-ups, most of the time, you can either do all berries in start and then the second berry in crossing here, or you can do progress to get both of the last berries in crossing. Oh, Plix does collect a berry.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this is where, okay, 2 1-ups does turn yellow. So random name, yeah, wow. Oh, that's very close.
Yeah.
Man. So this is where the progress 1-up is an interesting mind game play in the early game. Because obviously, since both players did progress 1-up, they're pretty even in progress. Even though random name did steal the objective. If Plix did early game 1-up instead of progress 1-up, Plix would have won the objective, and random would have been ahead in progress. So, interesting stuff here. Is there anything in 2A that you see?
There's a seeded, but I guess you can finish out 20 berries, but it doesn't really seem like something you'd rush, since either you're looking to get into 3A and get and rush the mess order and all the ejectives there, or you have Grapple start a 4A, which is good to get.
No matter what happens, I think players are either going to be rushing towards Grapple start a 4A or Letter and Pico. Plix does skip the seeded berry here, so that makes me think that maybe Plix is thinking of playing 3A.
Yeah.
And random also skips it. Okay.
Even if you do 3A, I'd typically get it just to leave the option open.
Yeah, I probably would too, but 3A is so strong that and Plix knows that the 1-up was very close. So Plix might just be skipping it to try to get a little bit ahead. And then random is getting some extra berries here that Plix isn't. For 20 berries, I assume. Well, we'll find out in a second read whether Plix is skipping or playing 3A. Yeah, I agree, Pocket. What's up?
Looking back at it, it's not a whole lot of late game, so I think side skip is something I would have considered, but maybe it's not incredible here.
Yeah, side skip is interesting for sure. But on a tournament game like this, playing side skip can be really risky because it has a tendency to blow up in your face if your opponent reads it.
Yeah.
So this okay, Plix does skip 3A, goes into 4A. So Plix can expect to win Grapple start of 4A. And maybe old Shellberries. But no. We'll see what random goes for.
Also a lot of quick berries, so could finish out 20 berries and get work towards 15 and 2 and all collectibles in 4A.
Yeah. But random name also definitely has a possibility of being able to finish 20 in 3A start because he just got so many 2A berries.
Yeah. Did skip a couple berries.
Yeah. Okay, so random does go into 3A here.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like this. There's a lot
Yeah.
of fast 3A stuff, and progress isn't too strong. So I'm just wondering what berries random will grab to get to 20.
Yeah, seeing the 4A tick, I know
Yeah.
it has some progress.
Yeah. Random did lose out on a lot of progress by going for 2A berries. So if Random went for 4A, he would have been really far behind. But going 3A seems to be a pretty strong play here. Plix going for pause buffer bubs drop, but unfortunately missing it. Bubs drop. Excuse me. Man, this chat is cutthroat.
LC Poppin does chat ultra. Incredible.
Yeah. That is the classic. Shut up, shut up, shut up. So random is going to get 20 here, I assume, and start. Yeah, it turns yellow.
Yeah.
So Plix might still be going for ultra berries, but won't see any synergy from 20 berries there, although it does set up for 15 and 2. Bingo. All right, so random entering, huge mess here. There are 3.5 objectives here. There's Find Letter in Pico 8, Celestial Resort, Blue Heart, the Mess Order Books Chestel, and get the Orb in Pico 8.
Yeah.
I think we'll see 3 of those.
Yeah. You saw that, like, the 4A tick, so he knows that, like, you can just do the huge mess order and get the heart and not really be contested on that.
Yeah. Okay, so PSA here. You don't need to enter the Pico 8 console here to get the Find Letter in Pico 8 in Huge Mess. You only need to reveal the secret wall. However, that might be changing in the near future because a lot of people do understandably get confused by that. So stay tuned to see how that is going to change.
Something also helpful is you can retry in that room and you save a lot of time going back.
Yeah, because the respawn is all the way back at the entrance.
Yeah.
Plix does tick off all berries and Old Trail because Plix has no idea where Random is. Random is delaying the Find Letter in Pico 8 and Huge Mess, and Plix goes back into 3A. And then thinks better of it and quits out and goes back for City Cassette. Interesting. I like this from Plix.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's just a quick objective.
Yeah, and Plix is far enough ahead in progress that it's definitely decent to go for. Random does tick off Letter in Pico in Huge Mess after delaying it a bit. Right, I'm back into Plix.
Yeah.
Cool. So Plix, did Plix get the seeded berry in 4A start?
I don't think so.
Neither do I. So Plix, despite playing 2A 4A, has neither of the seeded berries, which is one of the synergy pieces that I would want to grab by taking this route. It means that it's open for random in the future. Wow. Pause buffering just to sneak right underneath that snowball. Definitely worked out. Talia, Fake Heart used to be empty space. Now it's Reach Event Horizon. Now you want to push it even further back to wavedash.ppt.
Let's keep pushing it back one screen until we get to play all of Farewell.
One screen a day. Learn how to wall bounce. Reed, please. You're killing me. Alright, so Random has finished the mess order, has gotten the 3A blue heart. Now finishing the chapter. Plix, enter a temple here. Is there anything interesting in temple? Like, oh, there's temple A side and killed 2 different seekers. Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think, Salt?
Even with like temple A side, it gets still like reasonable to play like 5B. Like, since you get progress and like 2B sides, and it's not like, and you get just get out of temple faster.
Yeah, I think I agree. The only thing you're missing out on is temple A side. You can still kill seekers. You get advantage towards 5 hearts. Right, and Random does take off the 3A stuff, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he get diary and elevator shaft, or is he just delaying that?
He did not. I think he got.
Okay.
He went for demo dash instead, which is pretty reasonable. You can make the assumption that Plix. That was a cool buff strat. That Plix has no progress in 3A.
Yeah.
Right, and Plix enters 3A, maybe? Thinking about it, goes into 2A? Okay, 2A.
Maybe finally going back for the seated.
Yeah. I don't really see what else you could do here. 15 and 2 maybe, but that's pretty slow if you skipped intervention berries. Which Plix did.
Yeah.
Could also be going for the cassette here to set up for 2 B-sides. But right now it just looks like the seated. Yep.
With the cassette, you can just play like 1B and 5B.
Yeah. Okay. Plix going back for 3 seated in 4A as well. Random name. Going back into huge mess.
This for berries?
Or Pico 8?
Or...
I'm not sure what this is. Pico 8.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
What? Oh, elevator shaft. Okay. Random looks like he is going into 3A for diary, which is not contested right now.
The advantage of skipping it like first pass is that like you don't have to waste time doing an objective that isn't contested. But
yeah,
back
yeah,
end doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah, I would prefer Random going into either rigged or temple here just to push more progress.
Yeah.
Right, and does insta ticket.
Look, I'm going to golden. Interesting.
Well, this is pretty. This is a very Plix thing to do, and it will give Random a chance to. It would have given Random a chance to contest temple stuff if he went there. Instead, he went to Ridge, which is a faster chapter. And you have to assume from Random name that you're pretty far behind in progress, because Plix has only ticked off progress stuff at this point, despite playing pretty heavily non-progress here.
Yeah. Plix also did not get the 4A cassette for all collectibles in 4A.
Yeah. So random is probably going to be setting up all collectibles in 4A here, and also 15 berries in 2 chapters. I think that's pretty reasonable here.
I like this play.
Yeah. There isn't a lot of late game that you're pushing for, and if you're skipping temple, then you don't really care too much about losing out on those temple objectives.
Interesting to see what happens with 5 hearts.
Yeah, both of these players are not really going for too many hearts at the moment. Random Name does grab the 4A blue, but neither player has any B-sides, and there's only so many blue hearts. Although with Reflection Blue Heart on the board, you can definitely do 5 hearts with 5 blue hearts. Right. Well, very smooth Wing Golden from Blix.
2 minute. That is pretty good.
Yep. And okay, Plex does go into 5B here, but Random, depending on his berry execution, might be advantage to late game here. It all depends on the berries.
Yeah, and how many berries he goes for. And a lot of the ones in Old Trail are pretty slow.
Yeah. Although, on the other hand, Cliff Face berries are pretty fast, so...
Yeah.
How many berries is Random at here? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he full cleared start.
No, he skipped the seeded cassette and last berry, I think.
Oh, okay.
Nice corner kick. Right.
That's a good setup. Normally just jump at it and pray.
I don't go for the corner kick. I just dash back.
Yeah.
So Plix definitely 5 being over here has made up some progress ground against Random Name here. Although, since Random only needs Cliff Face, I think if Random wants to go for a Reflection or Summit objective, they can pretty much get it.
Yeah. And with the berries, it's like Cliff Face is just pretty quick compared to these 2 to 5B checkpoints.
Yeah. And Plix choosing not to kill a Seeker in that second room of Through the Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the chat speculating that Random will go for Reflection Blue Heart for the heart synergy. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
But Plix currently only has 0 hearts. We'll have 1 after 5B, so Random could definitely get it here, especially with the Reserve Blue Heart.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of synergy left. I think that's like a pretty good thing to go for.
Yeah, the main synergy is just 15 and 2 and 2 B-sides. Yeah, alright, Reflection Blue. Wow, what a cassette strat from Plix. That's cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of like cassette strats for their hard room strats there that I just like seen for the first time in bingo.
Yeah. Right, Plix going into 1B here for complete 2 B-sides. This also sets them up for 5 hearts. I don't think this is too bad, although Plix did the classic bingo thing of unlocking late game and then not doing late game.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tio.
Do you know how many hearts Plix has?
1. Just the 5B heart.
Okay.
So I think random is going to win 5 hearts here, which is not
Yeah.
great for Plix. Alright, I'm gonna summon Jax here by saying that going on the right side for the feather is faster than doing neutral jumps up the left. Even though I still do
Yeah.
neutral jumps. Because it just feels faster, even though it's not.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, random name definitely wins 5 hearts here. This is his 3rd. Is it? Or is it his 2nd?
it should be a 3rd.
Yeah, it is his
I
3rd.
think he got 3A and 4A.
Yeah, so only needs 1A and 2A. Both of those are pretty fast.
Yep.
Yep, and goes for them now. Seems pretty reasonable. I wonder what these players are going to do afterwards. There isn't a lot of synergy left, like you said. I think it would have been... Oh, farewell. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
I think like right here, I would like, prefer going into Summit, like just to work towards Summit B side, but
Yeah.
it's, like Farewell is also an objective.
I would have liked from random name to do the 2A heart before the 3A heart to finish crossing Arb after the 1A heart for 15 berries in 2 chapters. Although you random could definitely do 2A start Arb here as well. So Plix is doing farewell here. There's only one objective in farewell, and it's reach intro car. I'm not sure about this. What do you think?
It like, each intro card in Farewell just takes a long time.
Yeah.
It's just for one objective. Doesn't.
And Plix is definitely incentivized to not multitask this because they got DTS. Although obviously they still could. So true, flying. Well, yeah, random does go back into crossing Arb to get 15 and 2. So all I'm just saying, you could have done 2A blue heart first. This is game 3 of quarterfinals. Yes.
And I'm dying to the the strat. That,
Yeah.
Like, set the rest of trap for every casual player.
Yeah. Is that 15 and 2? Not quite. Reed, I'm screenshotting that one. Right, bingo, or Celeste clips, here we go.
Now random goes into Summit.
Yeah. This does make sense.
can get like, the gems and progress to summon B side, and he just needs one more objective.
Yeah. 10-7 into this scattered of a late game is a huge advantage here for random name. You could just pressure your opponent into needing to have progress for everything. Well, you can push progress here and there without without being too concerned if you lose an objective.
Yeah. He has also an advantage to like, all collectibles 3A, and like, I think all collectibles 4A.
Yeah, definitely 4A. I'm not sure how many berries and stuff he got in 3A, so they might be pretty even on 3A. And Plix does opt to go for 3A all collectibles here. That's very true, Pocket. Heart of the Mountain Berry is currently advantaged towards random.
Netflix got 2 B-sides, so...
Yeah. It just comes down to getting 2 fast blue hearts.
Yep.
Plix has an advantage towards Mirror Temple A side, though. A small one.
Yep.
But overall, like, these advantages are pretty small, and it's just going to come down to how these players play at the late game.
There's a lot of like maybe like 30 seconds to 1 minute like advantages, but like, it's so scattered it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah. Random Name just came out on top in the mid game, and it mattered a lot.
Yeah.
So we can expect Random to get the gem here. Also grab the cassette, probably for 7B, and the gem in the next checkpoint. There isn't really much after that. Yeah. Well, Reed, it isn't quite over yet.
Maybe Random gets locked out like a couple times.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 times. What is happening on Plix's screen? Okay, going for some weird berry strat.
You do like Yasig like without the transition.
That wasn't quite Yasig. I think Plix was going for doing a jump on the corner there.
Okay.
Like the spike corner jump. What's the D-Sand core meta? That works. Alright, so Plix does go for get the Orb and Pico 8 here, which does synergize with all collectibles 3A. That did go over my head.
Random skip the cassette.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, skipping the cassette is totally fine here, honestly.
Yeah.
No, rip. Alright, coming up on the gem. It does turn yellow, so Random is ahead 11-7. Plix is going to need to do some real trickery to get back ahead here. Well, that's a start. Random goes into Pico here.
I guess this is the start of the lockouts that make this closer than it should have been.
Yeah. So Plix has 2 options here. Plix can either insta-tick the objective and lock out random immediately, or can delay the objective and get locked out by random. I guess we'll see what happens.
I think seeing the gems will like delay it a bit.
Yeah. We'll see how fruitful it is. And remember, Plix has farewell progress, so this could be interesting. Hold on, what music is playing right now? Oh. It's 3A. Cassette. That's fun. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Alright, so Plix does insta-tick here. And both players quit out. Random goes into 4A full clear. Plix goes into farewell. So yeah, looks like Random is going to get a 12th objective here.
Presumably it just gets this and it has some on B-side.
Yeah. Or All Berries Heart of the Mountain. Random definitely has options here.
Yeah.
Plix also is going to need to do intro car without DTS, which is significantly harder.
Especially hard if you don't like, do the jelly smuggling thing.
Yeah. And of course you only get one shot at the jelly smuggling strat. If you die, you lose the jelly, and you either need to go for it jellyless or do it the hard, or go back and restart the checkpoint.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Plix saying they've never done no DTS intro car ever, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is there context that I'm missing out on? Is this actually a funny joke? I don't know about Plix's farewell history. Okay, that is good to know that Plix actually has farewell golden, but with DTS. I see.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't actually know people ran Feral Golden with DTS.
Mm-hmm. It just makes it a lot easier. All right, so Plix goes for the jelly smuggling here. Makes it up, but
Gotta clear.
oh
that side.
no! Yeah, that's rough. All right, let's see if Plix gets the jellyless strat. Jelly made it to the car. Yeah, but Jelly isn't Madeline, unfortunately. Wow, the pause buffering. Huge. Alright, and it turns pink. Plix, why are you still playing? Hello? All right, I am back. Are you ready, Salt?
Yep.
All right, let's do this. Flying, if you would. All right.
Very excited for this match.
Yeah, this has been hyped up a lot. All right, looking at the board, what do you see?
3 wing berries.
Mhm.
Yes. The quick early game I see is all type
Yeah.
blue heart, which is like a lot of synergy with like 5 hearts, 7 hearts, 3 blue, 3 red.
Yep. There are a decent amount of fast mid-game objectives here that I see. I see Grubble start of 3A, Grubble start of 4A, huge mess order, 3 seeded berries, 10 berries in 3 chapters, 2 B-sides. So, as a player here,
Yeah.
huh?
It's difficult to route.
Yeah, 3A is not super strong, but it does have a lot of potential later on with all collectibles, reach library, 2 mess orders, complete Pico 8. So I doubt that players would play 3A first pass, but going back into 3A early to set up for a late game play might make sense. 4A rushing, it seems decently strong because of 4 cassettes, 3 seeded, Grubble Starter 4A, and Ridge Blue.
Yeah, for it seem very strong.
Yeah. You could also make an argument for early B-sides because we've got 2 B-sides, 5 hearts, 7 hearts, 5 binoculars and B-sides, 4 cassettes, 3 blue, 3 red. Oh wow, this is
Been thinking about, but it's like kind of hard to justify with how like you're not getting very much immediately. But
yeah.
it does seem like a good option.
Yeah. It is also worth mentioning that playing progress is also a possibility because of berries in 0 meters, berries 1500 meters, although that's pretty much where late game dries up. The other long objectives are all collectibles 3A and core blue heart. And full clear core. Oh, there's full clear core and core blue heart. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's start talking about the game.
Yeah.
Both players getting both winged in 1A and are very close in execution.
Yeah, I'm starting to like early B-sides a lot more.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see one or both players playing 2B early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Player background too. Carrie has been Bennying a lot recently, so early 2B, we might see Carrie do that. You do lose 3 winged if Owen plays 2A, which is not a guarantee.
Yeah. With 2B, you just get progress to so much. It's a very good option.
Yeah, so it looks like Carrie is playing 2A, skipping the seeded berry, but going for 10 berries. Owen gets the seeded berry. Gets the seeded berry and goes up. Okay. So this is a 2A play from both players. So depending on how many berries Carrie gets here, Owen might win 3 winged, because Carrie was getting early berries, but seems to be skipping intervention berries, and Owen is just stone ignoring these berries.
Not a whole lot berries to work towards. You just have 10 and 3 and 10 and 5, which take a long time.
Yeah, and 10 berries is definitely not the worst to come back for.
Yeah.
Alright, well. This has been very any percent from both players so far. Looks like Carrie will win 3 winged berries. I wonder how Owen would react to that.
I think even with the detour, you'll like I'm still a bit behind.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, but not so far behind that catching up is out of the question.
yeah.
Alright, Carrie skips 3A. This is pretty expected, goes into 4A. So Carrie is advantaged here towards Grabless start of 4A and 4A blue heart. Owen also skips, so we have a race on. This early game could be stacking up pretty poorly for Owen.
Is Carrie not doing grabless?
Oh, Carrie isn't doing Grabless. I see.
And Owen is.
Yeah. So Carrie might be doing this to guarantee winning the blue heart as well as berries. Carrie says fuck Grabless in the chat. Alright. So players are splitting here, but Carrie does get progress towards berries here. Okay. Still trying to interpret this board.
Since they're both rushing, neither player gets defeated or cassette.
Yeah. Although Owen, being behind in objectives here, goes back for old site blue heart to tie up objectives. I don't hate this. It does mean that Carrie is going to be about a checkpoint ahead in 4A.
Yeah.
Did either player, or did Owen get the seeded berry in Grabless start? I don't think so, right?
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, splitting early game is definitely a valid strategy if you're pushing for a progress advantage, because being 2-2 and a checkpoint and a half ahead is definitely a good position to be in. Now that we're in mid-game here. Yeah.
That's a pretty safe play. It ensures that nothing catastrophic happens.
Yeah. Carrie entering cliff face here. So Carrie will need to play temple here because she skipped resort. I think it's got to be 5B, right? There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's a temple.
Yeah, just with all the B-sides and hearts energy.
I wonder if early depths berries might make sense to get those 10 berries.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. What would you
I don't think I'd do the depth berries, but
Yeah.
I think Gary has 10 and like 4A, and I think like decent progress in sight.
Yep.
Is a decent option.
Yay! Secret path from Owen. Very in 5A, expecting to see the cassette here. Not really much else to go for. Maybe the last few berries before the cassette to set up for depths berries later down the road.
Yeah.
Oh, Owen unfortunately dying with that cliff face berry is pretty rough.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I couldn't see if he collected it or not.
he planned to like finish with 10, that can be pretty tough.
Yeah. Although Owen did skip the first few barriers in Old Trail, and those are fast to get back for, so he might be okay.
Yeah.
Ending with 7 though, unfortunate. Alright, going back into 3A. Ooh, okay. Things are getting spicy now. Alright. So Owen can get grabless start of 3A here. There are multiple mess orders to go for. And that's about it. But I mentioned early on in the game that backtracking to 3A early would be a strong play just to set up for the late game synergy. Carry
Getting progress in like 3A is like pretty much equivalent to getting progress like through the game.
Yeah. Exactly, especially since Summit in late game in general are so sparse.
Yeah.
Very setting up for 5 hearts here. Okay, and into 5B.
Something I'm not understanding. Why did Carrie get like 1 blue heart?
I mean, there are blue heart objectives on the board. It could be just multitasking. I think getting the blue heart after 5B would make more sense, but
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal.
Guess you're gonna get it at some point anyways. So
Yeah,
not really a big deal.
yeah. I mean, it hurts if you get locked out of heart objectives, but as it's shaping up, looks like Carrie might be in the lead for those anyway, so. Alright, so Owen finishes grabless start of 3A and delays it, looks like.
5 hearts.
Yeah.
Can probably go to Owen.
Yeah. If Owen plays 1, 2, 3, 4 blue and 1 B side, I can see it going to Owen. Alright. Looks like the mess order of choice is any person order from Owen. Carry does Chasm without dashing? Oh. Okay, 4 cassettes, never mind. This is a lot better than Chasm without dashing.
Also, this is only our second cassette. So
Yeah.
It'll take a bit to go back for.
Yeah, but going back for okay, now it's Chasm without dashing time. You
There's
could go
some
back.
Interesting multitasking.
Yeah, definitely. But okay, there are 3 seeded berries on the table, and the seeded berries in 2A and 4A are both pretty close to the cassettes. So Carrie could clean up 3 seeded berries and 4 cassettes at the same time here.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yo, that was a cool dashless strat. Good stuff from Carrie.
Not doing multi-boost, but doing something arguably harder.
Yeah, but cooler.
Yeah.
Okay. Owen's delay for grabless start of 3A is going to pay off here, provided he doesn't delay it too long. And that is the end of any person order. Well,
Would have really liked to see the cassettes and seeded berries finished. You could also finish out the 10 berries in 2A.
Yeah.
While you're there.
So Owen enters Temple. If Owen can bait Carrie long enough from 3A, then it could definitely work out for him super well. Make up the progress lead that he or the progress deficit that he's built up. Unfortunately, He hasn't ticked it off yet, and Carrie's halfway through the checkpoint, so he might, unfortunately, over delay here. We'll have to see.
Be unfortunate.
Yeah, it'll be unfortunate for either player, no matter how it goes, because there's going to be a lockout happening no matter what. I do need to root for Owen here because over delaying just sucks.
Yeah.
Come on, Owen. Take it. Carrie has like 3 rooms left. Come on.
And if he doesn't tick it and Carrie gets it, then like Carrie might just do like the huge mess order and like then.
And then Owen could win it. Yeah, that is definitely possible. Oh no.
Nice little proceed, double delay.
Wow.
Wow.
Come on. Carrie is going for the other miss order, so it's not a huge loss for her. But wow. And Owen's gonna win 3 seated here. He's going back.
Yeah. Also, probably go back and win 4 cassettes.
Yeah. This could shape up super well for Owen here, and losing the second best order is not the end of the world for him at all.
Yeah.
The delaying is just rough stuff. It's hard to pull off, and obviously it's such a powerful thing if it works out your way, but that is not even close to guaranteed.
Yeah. I'd have like really good knowledge of like both your opponent and just like how long objectives take.
Yeah. Which is super not easy to do while you're also playing the Celeste video game. So 3-seated berries turns blue. Oh, and grabbing the cassette here. I'm assuming we'll quit out after this. And Carrie gets to text the other mess order. This makes sense. Doesn't want to get locked out of another thing.
Yeah.
Owen getting the last berry here? Okay, never mind. Okay, this looks like a 4 cassettes play from Owen. Meanwhile, Carrie going for 10 berries and 3, looks like. Or maybe 5 hearts. Looks like 5 hearts.
Yep.
This is cool stuff from both players. Definitely fun routing here.
Yeah.
We're also kind of getting towards a reset moment where both players are cashing in on their synergies pretty early. And we're going to be back to a position of like, what do we do now? Like, 2 B-sides is definitely still on the table. Looks like Carrie's going to be finishing 5B to get 0-meter berries, 2 B-sides, and hearts. Owen finishing up 4 cassettes. Curious to see what he does here. I'm assuming 5B.
Yeah, 5B would make sense. Also don't necessarily have to like unlock Summit here.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Owen keeps playing 3A. Oh, this is all collectibles in 3A. Gonna want to unlock Shaft with that. This is tight gameplay. Carrie is almost done with 5B. What would you do after this? If you're Carrie?
I think you have to like finish out the 5 hearts.
Yeah, I think so too. Another possibility is 0-meter berries, just to send the progress flag to your opponent.
Yeah. Not sure like how much information she has to gauge like how much progress Owen has.
Yeah. Looks like Owen is going to be finishing up berries in 3A. I'm interested by this play. I'm not really sure about it. Okay, just getting those two for 10 berries. I see.
Yeah.
So this looks like 10 berries in 3 from Owen, which is not an objective that I would have guessed that he won by watching the early game.
Yeah.
And Carrie going for interesting. Going for 5A blue heart here. This is a pretty slow blue heart, but I guess you're gonna need it anyway for 7 hearts. So as long as you win the objective, it seems fine to me.
I think for 7 hearts, could also just do B side, but
Yeah.
this is like more contested.
Yeah. Playing a B-side definitely makes sense for complete 2 B-sides, though.
Yeah. Like this takes about a minute. So.
Yeah. Did Carrie get 3A blue heart? I might have preferred seeing that one during the first pass in mess, that is.
I think like since they have 4 blue hearts, they do. I think like, they have like 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah. Yeah, and 5 hearts does turn green. And 10 berries and 3 chapters turns blue. So this is kind of the reset moment that I was talking about, where players are just individually playing towards synergies. Carrie is going to cash in on progress by getting 0-meter berries. Owen's going to catch up by playing 5B. I wonder when we're going to see core, because double core objectives in the late game are definitely can swing the game a lot.
Yeah. I think they both should have access to it now.
Yeah.
So,
But
sure
these... Oh, go ahead.
when a good time to go back for it will be.
Yeah, it's just tough because you need to balance core with B-sides. Obviously, 2 B-sides and 3 blue, 3 red are both on the board. There's also 5 binoculars and B-sides, 7 hearts. So B-sides are super important. If I had to guess what Carrie is doing after this checkpoint here, I would guess 1B. But I guess we'll find out. Yeah, alright, I guess right.
What I did. Yeah.
So this solidifies Carrie for complete 2 B-sides and 7 hearts, I think.
Yeah.
And 3 blue, 3 red. Although obviously you need a 3rd B-side for that. So if Carrie doesn't commit, then Owen has a chance of grabbing it.
You did manage to a lot after this. With like 3 blue, 3 red, and 5 binos and B-sides, and 1,500 berries.
Yeah. Owen still has play here because he has access to library all collectibles 3A. And can definitely snag things like core depths berries and 1,500 meter berries.
Yeah. That's still a pretty even here.
Yeah. Oh, also 10 berries and 5, I should mention.
Yeah.
Looks like players will be finishing their respective B-sides at around the same time, too. So we're gonna have a decision over here. Owen will have first say at where he goes after mid-game.
I think he has to do something about the B-side synergy.
Yeah, I don't know if he can actually contest it, though. Alright, so we do have Library, which is not contested, but does set up for B-side stuff.
I think he won't. Like, I don't think he can win like 3 blue and 3 red, but I think going for the binos and B-sides seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it'll be tough. If Carrie... Oh... Okay. Maybe Library isn't as uncontested. Despite doing a mess order, didn't finish mess. So is this Pico? Is this Pico? This is crazy.
Playing through mess to get...
Again?
Yeah.
Okay, but Carrie does get another heart out of this. So this is going to be Carrie's 7th heart. That is not nothing. Wow. Oh, you were just here for the heart. I wanted to see the library convention for 3 blue, 3 red. That would have been sick. Alright, and 7 hearts does turn green. As Owen approaches library, he has like 2 rooms left. Temple. No. Summit. Yes. Alright. 1500 meter berries. This is also uncontested, but is probably worth going for, just to cash in on Summit, maybe make some progress towards berries if you want to go for that. This is a recorded match. Okay. Owen goes Depsarb, which is going to be his 4th chapter for 10 berries and 5. Berries and Summit. And we're at 8-8. So Saul, which of these players do you think is advantaged here? Because this is very close to me.
I think like Gary is a bit more advantaged, like, just because of like the progress with B-sides. But it is very close.
Yeah. So the thing about their situation here is Carrie is making progress in Summit, has progress towards 5 binos and B-sides, and 3 blue, 3 red. I wonder if this is 2B from Carrie, which would get both of those objectives. I think it's going to come down to core, honestly.
Yeah, you have to play core at some point, since it's like, 2 objectives for like not like too much time compared to like complete Pico 8.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if Carrie, you know, wins all the synergy if it gets her to 12 objectives and Owen's ahead in core.
Yeah.
Owen, what are you doing? Okay, there you go. Nice demo from Owen. Carry into B, going for those B-side objectives, which locks out all of the B-side synergy. Put Carry at 10, and is ahead into Summit. Owen wins Depth's Arm. Needs one more chapter for 10 berries. This is... I mean, you guessed that Carrie was ahead, but getting these berry objectives, it'll be 10-10 after this. So, being able to win off of... I mean, it has to come down to core, because Owen has complete Pico 8, all collectibles 3A still in his pocket. Carrie has all berries 1500. That's still a 12-11 game. So...
I guess like the neutral objectives that neither of them have advantage towards are core and Pico.
Yeah. Okay, so for both players, after they finish these objectives here, they need to go into core, because core matters the most.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, for bingo players, it is not uncommon for them to avoid core like the plague. Yeah, and you see Carrie going into Summit.
A lot of bingo players just are like very bad at core compared to their other chapters since it just never comes up.
Yeah, and it's also like a very risky thing to do because you have the potential to just be mega locked out. And Owen goes core.
Yeah.
Owen goes core. Does Owen not have hearts? No. Owen has 4 hearts, surely. Surely Owen has 4 hearts. No! Oh, man. Someone clip it. Someone clip it. This is a classic. All right. It does still look like Owen's gonna have core advantage though, because Carrie has committed to 1500 berries here, and he only needs 2 hearts. So, not the end of the world for Owen one bit.
Didn't?
Oh, wait, does Owen have the heart?
Yeah.
No. Oh no! Don't go back into core. Don't go back into core. No.
Never seen this.
Owen, please. Okay, so Owen might not be advantaged into court. No, don't go back. Old site. Okay, go into 1A. 1A. Owen. There, yes. Yeah. Harry's done with 1500 meter arm. And goes back into resort. Okay. So Carrie might have a win condition here with Pico 8 and all collectibles 3A. So if Owen hard commits to core, he might end up losing.
Now he goes back into core. So,
Yeah.
It might just lose on the 3A stuff.
Yeah, but okay. All collectibles 3A is super long. And it's like 7.5 minutes to 8 minutes for mid-level arm strats. Core is like 4 minutes, and Owen is super advantaged to all collectibles. So this is gonna end up being super tight, I think. That's my prediction.
Yeah. And Carrie still has to do like complete all of Pico 8.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like she has like good strats as like with like these people with like sub 2 picos.
Yeah, mid-level pico stress can put you at like 3.5 to 4 minutes. So this is not even close to game over for Owen. If Carrie wants all collectibles 3A, she's gonna need to play huge mess for a third time. Yeah, resetting in Pico actually does restart the whole thing. Oh man, I am getting stressed watching this game. Harry does not have start berries in 3A. I don't fully remember, but I don't think she got any. Owen has... Oh, go ahead.
This thing, like, I think Owen has some progress, but not a whole lot.
The main thing is he has Presidential Suite access and all of Shaft art done, which is a super big advantage. Yeah, and it looks like Owen is going to commit to the full core ARB experience.
Are there even any like fast berries that just like berries that just reasonable to skip?
And there's reasonable to skip in core.
Core, yeah.
Hot and cold berries are pretty slow. I wouldn't skip more than the first hot and cold berry, honestly. Oh, Carrie. Okay.
What?
Why are you going core now? Okay, you are at 11. There's 2 objectives in core.
Looking for the 14-11 finish.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, counting is hard. Counting is very hard. Owen better not delay this. Oh! Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, Carrie is skipping ARB. Recognizing that she only needs 13 objectives.
Guess you just thought that Owen was in resort.
Yeah. Which is definitely a reasonable thing to do, but
like
Owen
does need like resort to win, so I guess assuming he was in there isn't like very unreasonable.
Yeah. It does come down to a 50-50, and Carrie has almost no progress towards all collectibles 3A, so going for it would be risky and take a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Owen can safely delay this. Although I am saying that from the commentator point of view. Obviously, Owen has only his game and Carrie's tick-offs to consider, and Carrie did tick off complete peak 08 when he was halfway through core, so...
Yeah. Also might not know how much progress Carrie has in as for resort all collectibles, so I think he needs to delay it.
Yeah, from Owen's point of view, Carrie has shaft access because of the mess order takeoff.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see if Owen insta-ticks here. If he does, he pretty much wins. But he can't know that. I don't see any takeoffs yet, but there is some heart weirdness going on. Okay.
Looks like
He's delaying.
a delay. Okay.
Alright. Carrie is in Heart of the Mountain. She's actually in the horizontal section of Heart of the Mountain. So she is less than a minute from finishing this chapter. Owen. Now's your chance.
Owen loses 3 objectives in 1 game to over delaying.
He wouldn't. If he takes after Sweet, he would still get it. Owen. Owen.
Owen.
Owen! Carrie has 2 screens left! Come on.
Oh, he ticks.
He ticks! Oh my god! No way! Oh, wow! This is what a legendary play. Jesus.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
Yes, Owen just wins off of the sort.
yeah. Carrie can't win this. Owen has done Sweet and Shaft Arb. Wow. Yeah, you definitely could have progress checked Owen if you went to core before Pico. Yeah, it's definitely reasonable. It was a 50-50. Owen just had the nuts in terms of going to core early, despite going to core twice without having enough hearts. Yeah, but like, yeah, retrospect is 2020, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's unfortunate, but like, I
Yeah.
think in the moment it wasn't, like, it was pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Super cool game though.
Yeah. Definitely lived up to the hype. Of,
Yeah, I don't know if the delay actually won him the game because he was still advantaged to through full clear.
yeah.
Super, super good game though. Well routed. 12-12 boards are always super good.
Very close game all throughout.
Yeah. And we are just watching the Aristotle here because Owen just needs to play through Huge Mess again after this.
I think I would also refuse to GG here.
Yeah, definitely don't call GG here. I mean, my personal philosophy is you really shouldn't call GG from a winning or losing the game standpoint. If you're tilted, that's a good reason to call GG. But if you're calling GG before someone has 13 objectives, then I mean that's the only way that you're guaranteed to lose, right? The only way that you can dispel any ambiguity about whether or not you would have won the game is to just play it out, and it's good practice anyway. So, but if you're tilted, don't force yourself to play because mindset is a lot more important than, you know, having closure. Owen wouldn't forget it, Barry. Have some faith.
I think he has a really good art time, so I don't think that's a concern at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair meta. And like I said, that's more of a mindset thing than a a practical winning or losing thing. Yeah. How many mess berries did Owen get first pass? Although getting this berry right here is is awesome. I've never considered that before because I usually, when it comes to this, get towels and books berries first. But if you don't do that for whatever reason, then yeah, getting that bottom left berry after chess is the play because now you can finish without needing to hit the last button. That is smart routing.
Yeah.
Carrie, what happened?
What did Carrie do?
Quit out after our, but didn't have shots unlocked. Oh no! All right, there's the GG. Well
Yes.
played. Well played.
It's a really great game.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does wrap it up today for day 3. Thank you, Salt, for joining me in commentary. It was a lot of fun.